To live free and be safe. That's the hope of one asylum seeker living in Scotland who's fled war and corruption. With a rise in anti-immigration protests in recent months, those living in hotels in Perth say the demonstrations are not a true reflection of how welcoming the community has been. Gráinne Grehan has been speaking to those hoping to make a new life here.
Over the past few months, a wave of protests like this have surged across the country. Illegal migration at the centre of these heated demonstrations. Often held outside hotels housing asylum seekers, organisers say the boats carrying migrants here must be stopped. Cyrus, not his real name, is one of the many who have made that journey crossing the channel to get here. He feared for his life in Iran, not able to say goodbye to his family.
It's a terrible and dangerous journey escaping your motherland. If you get killed, nobody knows. If you drown in the water, nobody knows. I was in the sea for 6 days until I approached Europe. There were around 100 people on the boat, pregnant wives, families who had babies with them.
The hotel just behind me here is one of many across the country that had recent protests gathering outside. Those organising these demonstrations say they're unhappy and have criticised the use of hotels to house asylum seekers. But those living here say it's not a true reflection of how welcoming people have been. Khalid, not his real name, says the war in his home of Sudan made it impossible to live in.
The war is so bad. You don't know who is protecting you and who could kill you. On the boat here, it was so difficult. There was a lot of people in one boat. Water was getting inside. Perth is so good. I feel peace and safety here. I hope to stay here.
Perth and Kinross Council previously reaffirmed its commitment as a council of sanctuary, welcoming people who seek safety. This centre in the city has created a community for everyone, providing education and recreational activities. Ahmed, not his real name, worked as an accountant in Sudan, but the conflict forced him to leave.
A few weeks ago, I was walking here and someone said to me that I was not welcome. I explained how I got here and the problems in my home country. His problem was that we aren't working and are living in hotels. I told him we can't work, but when we get the papers, we will work. Once I told him, I think he understood. I want to be an accountant again. Maybe after that I can do something for this country.
I want to be able to look a mother in her face and say that I looked after her son. And her son is welcome here. And it is my privilege to look after them and teach them English and get them to be part of the fabric of this society.
In Aberdeen, the co-leaders of the council have called for a meeting with the Home Secretary over the recent movement of asylum seekers in the city. They say the recent protests have left residents and asylum seekers alike not feeling safe. Mohammed, not his real name, came from his home country of Afghanistan and says it's too dangerous there because of the Taliban government.
Some people think living in hotels is very nice. I don't always like living in a hotel. 2 or 3 people are living in one room. This is really difficult. You don't get any privacy in the hotel.
Those organising the protests outside hotels say they're doing so to raise concerns surrounding safety and the cost of housing people here. The Home Office say they're committed to closing all asylum hotels by 2029 and reducing the amount of small boat crossings. Gráinne Grehan, STV News.